Okay. There we go. Yep, really damn this event. We're back at the scene of the crime. That's right, and luckily for us, it hasn't been touched since that assassin ran off. We take the assassin at his word that he didn't abduct the pianist, and given how little time M or Shakespeare would have to abduct him. And this is the only place that pianist could be. You don't mean? I knew another scrap of paper with Mesiah written on it. What does this mean? It's simple once you figure it out. Remember what I told you about how Cyto servants like me are made of having a heroic spirit possess a human vessel? Well, the same principle at work here. This automaton was given a specific person's memories, causing them to behave as if they were that person. I guess this piece of paper is infused with magical energy designed to facilitate that. The Queen M and Shakespeare knew that, but they all forgot as well. It was like the river Lefay. So you were here too. How much of that did you hear over here, M? That's right, I remember now. Tyler wasn't able to become a servant here. He didn't have the spirit origin he needed. So he ended up wandering around the Tower of London as a ghost. Yes, that's why Shakespeare and I decided to create him ourselves. I came up with a plan. And Shakespeare wrote it out. That piece of paper we happened across. He even provided us with the magic energy we needed. When we were done, we introduced our salary to the Queen, and she accepted him as he was. So then, how could we forget? How could I have been forgotten? The rest probably comes down to plain old wear and tear. There's a reason why you needed to tune delicate instruments before and after using them after all. When you all forgot about the truth, about your automaton, pianist, and stopped tuning it. Its interior working must have deteriorated, committing it actually trying to harm us. What a farce this turned out to be. Still, I suppose I should be grateful to you two. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have even be around to see the show come to an end. Where did you get this automaton in the first place? It's been around for a long time. I believe it was built by a puppeteer from the Far East. As I recall, it was a failed creation of theirs that was only ever useful as a prototype. I can guess who might that be. I was so sure Emma was up to something. You win me. Do I look like a villain to you? Absolutely. Oh well, I can't say you're wrong. I truly did love that piano. It was beautiful. Good, evil, none of that matters in the presence of true beauty. Even if we measure such things by different standards, they cannot be ignored. For me, where there is great worth in beauty. That's why I wanted to let salary music echo across this patchwork, even as it goes. I want everyone to hear it, and see them dancing in delight. That's all I ever wanted. How do you bring out Uranus? Intuition, really, but if I had to elaborate, It's because the music we heard at that masquerade ball reminded you of Anatoly Salary. When asked to name a musician servant, most people would think of Mozart. But in this case, you thought of Salary, an avenger. There must have been a reason for that. That's the why done it. I guess you thought the music was incomplete somehow, and not because Salary isn't good as Mozart. It isn't about skill or talent, or even the performer's particular habits. Rather, it is to the fact the music was being played so expertly that it gave you a peek into the performer's soul. And what you saw was no doubt incomplete and was unstable, just like Salary once was. From there, once I got hints about forgetfulness, ghosts, and pseudo-summons, the rest was easy. We knew forgetful thing was a big thing here, thanks to the last patchwork. It wasn't hard to guess from there that this automaton was a vessel for a pianist, whether it was indeed Salary or not. That does make logical sense. I suppose that's where dictation files when one is braving the world of mystics. Trust me, pal, women intuition is a force to be reckoned with. Anyway, I like to collect this paper and be on our way, but that's twice now. Then you were spying on us. I let you off with a warning first time. I'm going to have to break out my scales. Scales in that outfit, I knew it. It's time to pass judgment. I trust that won't be a problem, Carrie. You're the boss. Whoa, this is taking a rather abrupt turn. You're a rogue servant too, then you can thank us for solving this case by helping here. Wait, you lured me out just to get me to fight, didn't you? I guess then they're just asking for your help, but I figured you'd be more likely to show up like this way. That's downright devious. Try to at least keep the assassin busy. Come on, people, let's do this. Oh, that's such a bad card. What, I survive? Shoot that ruler. It seems like a scripted battle though. I do. That was unwinnable though. Damn, she's strong. Did she line her abs with steel or something? I wouldn't put it past Livia. Report, our current force are insufficient to penetrate the enemy's spiritual defense. I can see that, damn it. Her spirit origin is on a whole other level. If only we had one more fighter on our side, I'd be able to put together a strategy. I'm afraid I got my hands full over here. Not to mention the strain this is putting on my poor back. Ow, 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 ow. I speak no evil. Hand over that Mesiah paper, and this will be all over. Evil, huh? So it's that sort of. Huh? Who are you lot? MLA to locate it. Convince and capture. Damn it, as if we didn't have enough problems. What's with these automata anyway? Ooh. Rainus over here. She took out those automata with one strike. No wait, Gray. Hehehe, we finally find you, and you're fighting Livia of all people. The slave just talked. Now's our chance. Grab the paper and run. Hey, get back here. Grabbing it now. Okay. I have to update the title as well. Yes, it is the rerun. Those who do know evil, nor will they know evil, even when affected by it. Those who know end to goodness, and yet not aware of their goodness. I should gather those purged souls, freeze them, and archive them. No matter how much time passes, I will store them in my lance as something whose vow will never change. What's wrong with that? My work is all for you humans. We're not some butterflies on a board. Is that what you think? Is that also what you think? One Knight in a Shield. Human lives are finite amongst them. There are a few whose lives are even more limited. Mash-Q-Late, you understand my deal, don't you? Mash. Yuki, that's enough talking. The Lion King's mental structure is now complete that of a deity. She lost her vow as a human. This won't end with just talk. Fight in the straight at lance. Time will return to normal if we do that. Imprudent Romani Arkman. That is much like you, however, I have come to the same conclusion. You've answered the question. If you are to deny me, I'll deny you as well. Your death is inevitable, and now it draws near. Limit the limits on your life. Know those limits and accept my divine grace. Knight of the Shield, if you want to protect human lives, you will not fight me. Here she comes. Master, prepare for combat. Okay, that's done now. Hey! Wake up already. Cripes, it's about time for a while. There, I wasn't sure you were going to wake up at all. You must really want me to break out my failed people ran, huh? Thank goodness you're alright. You're both here. M hightailed it out there as soon as he could. Don't worry, I'm sure that shady old man will be fine. You look like you're doing well. I take it you remember something important. What is this place? We got room at a nearby hotel. You can see where we are for yourselves. Look out the window. It's the Fur Patchwork London, the steampunk patchwork. All comm systems are green. Can you hear me, senpai? Yes, our first call. Great, I can see on our end that you got the second paper as well. But most of all, I'm glad you're okay. By the way, may I ask who you are? It's nice to meet you. My name is Gray. I'm, Raina's friend. Hey, come on. No need to be so blunt. That's alright, I don't deserve such a great honor anyway. Hey, come on, it's not about being deserving. It's just that you and I are... Okay, this is how it always is with these two. You don't believe how awkward they can be. Fight, Ed. Now quit shaking me, Gray. You don't know your own strength. Good grief. Anyway, Gray, here's an acquaintance of mine, though I had no idea she'd become a servant too. I guess you could say she's my brother's pupil. That's right. I was enrolled at the clock tower as Lord Emiloy's tutor apprentice. Marina's told me what happened to him. We got to find whoever was responsible. I want to find out what happened to my mentor. If I can't do that, there's no point in my being here. He took me in when I had no one else would. He gave me a place to belong. The last thing you remember is coming to and finding yourself in this patchwork London, right? Great. I've known from the beginning that I'm a servant now. I still don't know what summoned me here or why. I see. You seem to have that much in common. If you don't mind, could you form a temporary contract with me? Any people of Rhaenys must be a good master. Of course. While we're at it, I have something else to tell you. I haven't officially confirmed this yet, but between the scales and their talks about passing judgment, I'm positive that divine spirit possessing Luvia is Astraea. Astraea. The divine incarnation of justice in Greek mythology. She's basically one of the progenitors for the concept of Lady Justice. Our information confirms that too. Rhaenys' theory is almost certainly correct. Astraea. I think we come this far only to find a divine spirit, side of servant, standing in our way. You said it, and we still don't even have any idea who killed my brother. Not all bad news though. Now we have a real shot at victory. We do? You bet Great No Phantom should have no trouble getting through Astraea's defenses. Really? Oh sure, Great always had hers, even when she was alive. Wait, are you an assassin? Yes, I am. I think it's because I keep my weapons hidden. So that's why you were designated as an assassin. Well, that's just silly and unbefitting. Keep your weapon hidden? I can understand your confusion, but girl's got her secrets. I'll tell you, that safe was me. Hehe. Hey, don't just give it away like that. Hehe. I'm Ed, a Sealing Mystic Code. Nice to meet ya. Well, and by sealing, I mean I keep my goods sealed away most of the time. Sometimes I change shape, so Gray here can use me as a weapon though. Nice to meet you, Ed. Well, aren't you cheeky? Come to think of it, you didn't even blink when you first saw me talking, eh? Well, nice to meet you too, calm girls. Likewise, I'm so relieved. Since I wasn't able to go there with Senpai, I've been thinking about every times I had to stay behind. I'm so glad he managed to find such dependable allies during this race shift. Oh, we managed to improve our model steadily, so I'm analyzing that paper you found as we speak. One thing we already learned is that paper that appear to be other tinier scraps of paper scattered throughout Patchwork London. There are? These scraps emit an identical energy signature to the paper you found, but on a much smaller scale. If you can, I'd like to collect as many of those as you can, along with the Mevasine ones. In the meantime, I promise I'll do everything I can to help you out from here. What a capable young lady you are. Makes me wish I had underling for myself. Alright then, let's go see what this latest Patrick is like. Seeing how she tried to take it from us, I'm guessing Luvia Astraea is after those scraps of paper too. I don't know what she's up to, but whatever it is, we're bound to run into each other again at some point. Unfortunately, we can't afford dealing dally.
深森のグレイです。普通のサーバントとは少し事情が違うと思いますし、何かとご迷惑をかけるかもしれませんが、どうぞよろしくお願いします。
おお、来たか我が。さーて、新しいミッションが開いたらしい。頑張ってもらおうか。
Yep, she's cute.
事件新。さて君、きちんとインフォメーションは読んだか。これは素晴らしい。さーて、新しいミッションが開いたらしい。頑張っても。ほほう、なかなかいいものを得たよ。
And there's these side quests.
事件新。パッチワークの都市をかけ。ほほう、ほほう、な。
Cavalry units, huh? New quest. Damn you using evade.
よろしい。よく目をその手に。私が死になさい。召し上げましょう。もうふっと消えたれ。我が学ぶ。と。
Two more attacks, okay.
はち切れそうでしょ。お参りしていきます。あくいいでしょう。目に映るもの。すべての愛に。はいはい、こちら。そう、いいでしょう。落ちよ。ロードレスキャメロット。潮さん。
Give things you only can do at once.
目によくいいでしょう。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。ローキャメラ内側から国家に我が学ぶ。火薬の匂い。あまり悩ませない。手に入らない。目によくいいでしょう。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。ロードキャメラ。逃がすの。
So tanky.
こ
Not too shabby. I figured you'd get obliterated right off the bat. I'm satisfied with that. Looks like you're worthy of being my comrade. Comrade? Sorry, but I have a petty obligation to uphold since I ended up retaining these memories. I had a master back when I fought Elmoway too. They call him the man without a heart. The man without a heart. A name that's literally as it gets. He had his heart ripped out in a fairy incident. Fairies! So you even know about fairies. They were rare, even in my time. There is a marked difference between their mystery and Matriarch. They could even rip your heart out and still keep you alive. In any case, I need not more than one king and one master. By king, would you be talk about Iskander? How? How come you were talking about my king? Guess you dress like him. Hold on. Do you mean to tell me that my king is at Kaido? Yes. I'll be damned. I'll be damned. I'll never go to Kaido. Because you love the king? That's not the problem here. With my dignity on the line, I will not face the king. Because... Hey Yuki. Yuki. It's starting. It's starting. Very well then. Why don't you call me M? Then I can say not but this. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind. Are you alright? Looks like your real self got a hold of a memory fragment. Apparently this feedback from your real self. Since I've contracted with you, I saw it too. A masquerade ball of all things. Your real self's really living up to it, huh? But that face of the Lion King. The door opened. What is going on? I finally grasped it. It appears that fragment and the doors of this train are related. I knew the manager of this train is ill-natured, but it would seem this is designed this time. I wonder what they are plotting. No matter, let's proceed first. Shadow Servants.
よく言いました。それは絶えず見た滅びのロードツキャメラ死になさい。国家に
The stream MP. And seal my skill as well.
よく言いました。いいでしょう。逃がすのみ。内側から終わり。動かないよ。
Seal for another turn.
目を背く。よく言いました。あくまで華麗に分断する。召し上げましょう。国家に無駄ですよ。
How long is that gonna last for? One more turn?
いい判断。あくまで華麗に死になさい。浮気現場。動かないよ。無駄ですよ。無駄ですよ。無駄ですよ。あんまり悩ませない。楽しくなるでしょう。目を背く。よく言いました。そういいでしょう。落ちよロードレスキャメロット。死になさい。召し上げましょう。無礼に
Miss! Stop there. Take them out. And move on to the next card. The shadows make you easy looking at them, don't they? Looks like you're getting used to it. Were those mystic eyes just now? Yeah, the eyes of compulsion. In your parlance, they are no event noble color rank, I think. Naturally, I was born with them. I didn't buy these at the auction here. Now then, the door to the next card. I knew it. Looks like you need another key. Until your main body finds the scrap. Looks like we're stuck here. It's boring, but I have a sit and wait. I could kill some time if I was a pilot. About the story about JP-rKyECtnz earlier. Well, whatever. I was only halfway through anyway. As you probably guessed, I was JP-rKyECtnz's vassal. Specifically his body double. Body double. Can't you use your imagination after all? They use straw dolls to carry curses in your country. Right, it essentially works the same way. How is a body double meant to take curses directed towards the king? That's why I don't have a name. I really am nameless. It's precisely because of that I was able to work as a king substitute. If I really needed to use one, I would just borrow my brother's name. Ephysion. That's what it was. He was the king's most loyal servant. That's probably why I was summoned in an extra class, like Faker, during my previous summons. My true name, skills, and no phantoms are all borrowed. Faker is really the best name for me. I still don't remember. The desert sun, the forest blocking our way. Fighting large armies. Making many allies. To our enemies, the curse of our god, and blessing to our allies. Traveling so far, hoping to reach the furthest seas. Sounds like you had a good time. You sound like you understand. But yeah, it wasn't so bad. That's why it's so infuriating. You know what Xkander last word were while he was on the verge of death? Leave everything to the strongest. You mean to fell into civil war. At the very least, that's what the survivor decided. It was after both me and my brother had already died. They forgot their god blessing and mercilessly killed each other at the expense of many people. They ruined the glory of my king and just about everything else. Both the First Sea and the world's greatest empire drowned in a swamp of blood. Supposedly it was called the War of Daidachi. I will never forgive those who ruined my king's glory. And that's why I'll never face him again. Do you know what my king's noble phantom is? Lion Hitare, the army of 1,000 he raised during his lifetime. And the officer at its heads were the traitors I mentioned earlier. The army of the king. I've been called by it in the past, and each time I refuse on my way there. I will never fight alongside those traitors. Not even an order from a king would make me do so. My former master was also betrayed, so we were a good match for each other. On this train I fought Lord Emily too, Rhaenys, and a priest of the Holy Church. We also went under London to the spirit tomb, Albion. It was kind of fun down there. What's more, both Lord Elmolloy 2 and Grey used this train to come after me. Spirit tomb, Albion. Haven't you heard of it? It's below the Mage execution in London, so very far down under the ground. It's a tomb, pure breed dragon and shrine where nobody can get to it. Who would have thought a train would be able to make it there, no matter how often it runs through the outer world? And yet his face had this look, I can't do anything, which makes that lord even more annoying. He also managed to wreck the academic town Norwich was running. But even by the age of God standards, though it was a pretty unusual place, if my king had heard about them, he had been really jealous. The man with no heart tried it a little too hard. Guess I'm not no poet after all. Forgive the poor story. It was very interesting. You were quite a flatter. In place of thanks, I'll make every effort to return you to your main body. And I'd like you to promise me too. What? Remember my story about the man with no heart. The story about the master couldn't bring victory to. Your master. Alright. Good, I'm glad. If there's someone alive who remembers him, then I'm sure I kept my word. Yes, tokens.
ホワイダニットに注意したまえ。さーて、新しいミッションが開いたらしい。頑張ってもらおうか。
Token for Gray.
さて、
いらっしゃいませ。ここではアイテムを交換できるそうです。
More of these ones. Need bell.
気に入ったものがあったら持って行ってください。
Is it missionless? Find crabs now. Alright. You get all the way to Act 10, which requires grinding though. And that's the raid part. Hi Sosuke. Or monkeys. More mission. Okay, 7. Is there a parade going on right now? There are a bunch of automatic writing, steam-powered mechanics course. I love them really. They don't seem to be like the automatic that came after us though. Is that a steam-powered wagon? It's a king. Hail to our king, the king of steam. I wonder if... Hail and well met, good citizens. My glorious steam engines exist for one purpose, and one purpose alone, keeping you all safe. I'm the gentleman clad in steam and steel. I'm the steam king. Wherever you go, my fair citizens, Child Babbage shall be right there with you. I knew it. This is the final patchwork. Regardless, I need to collect all the missing before it's too late. How are you doing, Carrie? No problem here. This might Not be the London I'm familiar with, but it's still London. I knew it well enough to get around just fine. I see, fortunately it seems like this body knows it ways around this place too. Babbage is left with the rest of the parade. Charles Babbage, genius mathematician, and the famous king of steam, given the circumstances. It's all bet he's got something to do with the paper. Isn't this bit on the nose? Of course, since he's a king, and I doubt we'll be able to stroll up to him and say hello. Before we talk to him, we'll need another clue, so I'll be heading off on my own for a bit. Take care of that. Luckily Gray is here now. Hehe. She should at least keep you from unthinkingly wandering into any mobile death traps. I'll go with you, Master. I'm sorry about that. For what it's worth, I do think that just her way of worrying about you. I know. I'm glad to hear that. It's not always easy to tell, but she really is a kind person, deep down. I guess it makes sense you would know, being her pupil and all. I hope you'll keep helping her. She's always pushing herself hard in everything she does. If only Mentor was here too, we wouldn't have to worry about anything, no matter where we were. I mean, Malloy. Yes, he was. I'm not sure if this is the best way to say or not, but he was irreplaceable to me. He was by no means a strong fighter, and he wasn't entirely reliable in bad situations. But just having him around gave Reynos and me the strength to fight. He was that sort of person. We had to find his killer no matter what. That's the least we could do for him. Huh? It looks like Reynos is back already. Who is that with her? It's I, Your Majesty. She's the one who found me. Apparently she's been looking for us. I've told M. You managed to solve our case. As Queen, I am therefore obliged to present you with a reward. So Emma made it out there okay. He did complain quite forcefully about how his body's now eaten over though. For my part, I found it rather amusing. You there, girl. Why do you cover your face? Are you trying to hide from me? No, it's not that. Oh, sorry. I hope you can forgive Grey here. She's dealing with some unusual circumstances. Shh. I'll tell you later. Trust me, it's not the sort of thing we want to get into in front of this queen. Well, no matter. Anyway, you're still entitled to a reward. Is there anything you want? Oh ho, you wish to meet with the Steam King. Is that too much to ask? Not at all. In fact, this works out rather well. I was just on my way to meet with him, in fact. Come with me. This is his residence, Steam Castle. Even the hallways are sputtering. There's so much steam. Watch yourself. You don't want to find out what a first degree burn feels like. Anyway, all this machinery seems to be a bit much at first, but looking closer, it appears that all of it's interconnected. Now this including those steam furnaces and the steam wagon we saw earlier would be possible with ordinary engineering. No, this isn't engineering at all. Does this mean there are different laws in this place here? Oh, if it isn't the queen, how good of you to come. Bring you good tidings, Sea King. These are the ones who solved the case of the missing pianist. Are they now? That would be the case that has been bugging you for some time now, correct? Correct. I brought them here because they wished it to speak with you. Now I should leave you to it. So you're searching for these pieces, Mimosy paper, huh? Then it would seem you are the ones I have been expecting. What do you mean? That queen brought you here is proof enough. You must be the ones tied to my destiny. As such, I believe I can trust you with the concern that has been plaguing me for many years. This kingdom should not exist. What do you mean by that? I'm a servant just like you. My noble phantasm is called Dimension of Steam. This world we inhabit now is one of a fantasy. What would have come to pass had my plans propagate and popularize a vast number of steam-run machines been realized? The remnant of that possibly protect me to this day in the form of the steam engine armor. So it's basically scientifically impossible steampunk world come to life. Exactly, but take a look outside. This is the very dream I failed to realize, the fantasy I could never make reality in life. Just behold how vividly real it all is now. Isn't that a good thing? Of course it is, my new friend. You have no idea how my heart sinks whenever I lay eyes upon this vista. You could never understand the depths of my delight of being able to touch a world that once exists only in the interstices of my mind. But as much as I wish it weren't so, this is still a dream that never truly came to pass. In fact, my own existence is a result of the failure to realize this dream. As such, this world and I cannot coexist. If this world exists naturally, my own existence is anything but. Conversely, if I exist, this world cannot. Understand this equation. Paradoxical, if my dream became a reality, I myself cease to exist. That can only mean this whole world is a dream that should never have been made reality. It's a world that has been unnaturally dragged into being. This, as I am, this dream's architect, is my duty to see it put to rest. I must end it with my own hands. No matter how beautiful it may be, or how dearly I wish to see it realized. That's my responsibility as a servant and as a guardian of humanity. Basically, you want to destroy your own personal utopia. Even though it's a perfect realization of the wish you would make upon the Holy Grail given the chance. Yes, I suppose so. Do you take issue with that? Not at all. I have nothing but respect for your decision, Steam King. Makes me proud to be from the same country as you. Thank you, Yamage. I appreciate that. But I cannot take credit for reaching this conclusion alone. I couldn't have never done it so without this woman's guidance. You give me far too much credit, Your Majesty. All I did was offer a bit of advice. The value we find upon reaching the answers we seeking is something unique to every one of us. Australia. Good day, I didn't expect I would see you all again quite so soon. What are you doing here, Australia? Everyone in this land is missing something crucial. Surely you all notice as much as yourselves. That goes for me as well. I expect I'm missing some core part of my memories. Eventually I figured out that I need those scraps of paper if I'm to fill in those gaps. That's why I went to investigate the Masquerade Ball patchwork after discussing with the Steam King. So you're originally from part of this patchwork, huh? Unfortunately, we need those paper too. I'm sure you do. But if we all have equal need of them, then it's only just that they should go to the superior being. What better way to balance the scales and keep the world turning smoothly? That sheer ignorance is staggering. Not rank up quest. But she still talks like Luvia. That's definitely Luvia. But this is just how she is, huh? Well, Luvia, as a possessed by a divine spirit, but yes, though if their personality are this similar, it's no wonder she was chosen as a vessel. Now do you understand? You can also call me the world's most graceful hunter if you like. I won't deny that hearing that ticks me a little, but I can't say I agree with that. But that's a shame. I was hoping you would be rational enough that we could resolve this, if not entirely peacefully, then at least less violently. Tell us, Sir Babbage. No Steam King, where's the dispatch paper? As I told straight before, I would guess it is somewhere inside my body. Inside your body? You think the paper is inside you? These slips of paper manifest either within the patchwork key figure or in proximity to them. You're not seen as much as yourselves? Now that you mention it, that does seem to line up with what Yuki told me. In which case there is a strong possibility that this patchwork paper could be revealed by destroying my spirit core. You can't do that. Suicide is not the answer. Yes, I would certainly prefer not to self-destruct, unless no other option presents itself, especially as we can't be sure that the paper is there at all. That in mind, Stray and I agreed to begin our search in the other patchworks. But that's why she was there in the Tower of London. Besides the event, I have forgotten something important. There is still another possibility. Hello, Momo. What's that? I created this prototype analytic engine when I was still alive. I know it better than anything. Assuming I foresaw the possibility of forgetting something, I'm sure I would have implanted a subsystem to prevent any loss of data. Like a backup. Indeed, as every engineer knows, that is one of the most basic fundamentals of our profession. Knowing me, I am sure that this is exactly what I did. But unfortunately, I cannot remember where this crucial subsystem could be. I'm nearly certain it is somewhere within my Steam castle, but given who I am, I doubt I would have placed it anywhere that was easy to find. So it's a scavenger hunt this time. Well, I guess that's better than getting dragged into some annoying drone detective work. Alright, let's start by exploring every centimeter of this Steam Castle Palace. Wow. We've been through most of the castle by now, and still no sign of anything that looks like a backup system. You could look at that wall. Did it just open up? Must have had a secret door that was designed to react to the people we have. Alright, let's go see what's lying in the wait on the other side, shall we? So catabombs under castle, huh? Yeah, that's tracks. Gears and cranks everywhere you look. Gauges and meters measuring. Who knows what? Metal pipes and handles galore. Yep, steam puck through and through. There's no telling when or from where a monster might try to attack us, but we should be able to handle anything that tries to re-upgrade here. I'll do my best. Once I'm counting on you too, of course. Well, on the servant you command anyway. Hey Master, play an important role. Hey, you're cute when you're upset. I assume you notice, but I was just messing with you again. Guess that side of me doesn't go away, even as a cyto servant. Lucky me. Always is not bad as you might think. Either. It sure made the power struggle in the clock tower a lot easier, I can tell you that. Honestly, these catacombs remind me a lot of all the time I spent there. There's literally no end to the schemes and subterfuge that play out every single day there. So you kinda have to be into get by, really. Do all mages love to conspire or something? Given that Chaldea involved in the astronomy department, I'd say it's sure bet that clock tower's been interfering there somehow. Without you giving it much plot. Since you don't seem especially attuned to those sort of things, maybe you heard of someone from the atmosphere side of things mention it. Not that you mentioned it. There you go, even if you're just a mage. Just looking for the root. Well, actually, even more so in that case, you're going to need a lot of authority to get anywhere. We mage have incredibly long and difficult road between us and our goals. Money and power are just two of the things we need to make any headway. Though of course, even in the clock tower, a lot of mages become obsessed with power for its own sake. But anyway, enough about that crap. It looks like Chimera found something. Over there, master. Where are these ghosts? Rhinus. What the hell is everything? It looks like someone's artificially mixed ghosts with and vapor together. Can you hand them Gray? I should be fine. I'm not afraid of things like this. Hey, I can't wait to dig in. Maybe I should use Gray. For an instant kill. Hostile eliminated. That hits the spot. You did good, people. Very nicely handled, Gray. Oh no, it was nothing. Dealing with ghosts is my job, after all. Your job? Eternally runs unusual cemetery. Even by the British standards, you've been trained to be its gravekeeper. That basically makes her a pro when it comes to dealing with ghosts. Not that she'll be taking over the family business anytime soon, of course. But outside, those were some awfully odd ghosts. Yeah, they did seem different somehow. They tasted a little odd, too. Kinda like they had a bunch of mismatched flavor mixed in. Don't get me wrong, they were so yummy and all, but sometimes it felt like I was eating a bunch of mist or something. Mist, huh? Hey people, do you know exactly what dead spirits are? Aren't they just people that became ghosts? Well yes, you're only half a bit right. In Magecraft, certain types of dead spirits are considered to be memories. How does that work? It's just what it sounds like. They are memories that have begun acting of their own accord. I knew you get it, right? Basically, you can think of them as corrupt data. Dead spirits don't have anything in the with the true intelligence, and of course, they don't have souls. All they do is repeat things they did when they were alive without any rhyme or reason. They are nothing more than remnants of the past events that have been burned into a particular place or objects. It looks like these theme ghosts are being pure magecraft that has been created by mixing in memories of that sort. But why would things like that be running around Catatom's the Scene Castle? I bet we'll find out if we keep going. Wicked mages love holding up in places like this. True, that could well be the case here. If we bump into any of those, at least we'll be expecting it. What is this place? I think it's the heart of the castle. What the hell is that? Are those ghosts being sucked into a giant steam engine? Not just that, their magic energy is being transferred to the engine too. Does that mean this steam engine runs on dead spirits? That's ridiculous. It's not even a steam engine at this point. Everybody was right. This sort of thing shouldn't exist in the first place. As I have the measurement, there was a slip. The kind of paper we're looking for inside that engine. There is? Yes, I believe someone must have taken it. Someone took it? Then does that mean this engine used to run on magical energy in that paper and is now sucking up the energy from ghosts to compensate for its loss? So these ghosts are being made to incorporate that steam to make up for the magic energy that's taken from them. It looks like we need to deal with these steam ghosts before we can do anything else. Right, that sound. Three more chapters. What the hell was that? Answer over there. That's a difference. Engine. One of the very first computer ever made. That must be Badger's backup system in that case. Okay, the data on the person who took the paper from the steam engine is still here. Let me just pull up the images here. Emily. Enter. My brother took the paper. Oh wait. The fact that there was a metropolitan paper here in the first place must be... Shit, I get it now. This is what Sturbridge got. We had this all backwards. Whoever behind this hasn't been stealing memories. Make people forget stealing memory is the only means to an end. This whole place consumes memories for energy. It was a giant memory engine. A major information is energy. Why spells and chants can be used to control Magecraft in the first place. If you generate enough energy like this, you could do almost anything you want with it. Though you don't really get much energy from memories, whether they're coming from spirits or the living. I don't see how you could power a big steam engine like that on just memories. Well, I've noticed that spirit here have much more magic energy than usual, so did the ones in the Tower of London. And those scrap of paper have even more. I see, then it's not just that steam engine. This whole place is unusual. Something about the singularity that makes memories an extremely potent energy source. Oh no. No wonder they went after my brother then. I should have realized this ages ago. As it seems that something is tracking us. Damn it, this back substance is working independent for Sir Average. That must be why he went after my brother. They wanted to get back the memory paper for the energy it has. No wonder those first automata we ran into looks like antiques. They're impossible steam powered autos that must have come from this patchwork. And if we're being tracked down, more automata like that are bound to come after us again. Come on, we need to get back to my brother's flat.
いでしょ。落ちよ、ロードレスキャメロット。完全配列。はい、NSS サービスです。もちろんお望みのままに。いい目を背けないで。それは絶えず見た滅びの意。ロードレスキャメロ。
Grind pain.
さて君、さて新しいミッションが開いたらしい。頑張ってもらおうか。事件進展。ふむふむ。さて新しいミッションが開いたらしい。頑張ってもらおうか。さて新しいミッションが開いたらしい。頑張ってもらおうか。
$35. Defeat 20 golems.
事実、神戸を垂れよ。希望もない。簡単に終わらないよ。暗き湖、あくまで華麗に来たれ。そう、いいでしょう。落ちよ、ロードレスキャメロット。皆様に火薬砲弾扱ってあげましょう。目を背けないで。それは絶えず見た滅びの意。ロードレスキャメロ。生きている者がいれば私の社に愛玩の檻にてたっぷり分からせますので。
6 only, huh? Got to grind here now, yes. Proceed with sorry. That's not funny. These bot messages. Why were we done with them?
戦闘ですね。大好きです。撃って撃って撃ちまくって差し上げますわ。
They never give up, do they?
Yoくいいでしょう。そう、いいでしょう。落ちよ、ロードレスキャメロット。田舎の好き放題扱ってあげましょう。火薬の匂いすべてにさて、どこから潰したも目を背けないで。ジフ、神戸を垂れよ。希望も好き放題扱ってあげましょう。暗き湖よ、目を背けないで。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。ロードレスキャメラ、逃がすものか。人間の火力ではどうあっても私には及びません。おとなしく我が社に入、いいえ、我が軍も。
11? Not 12?
光の子やんすかやっと。お前に暗き湖よく言いました。そう、いいでしょう。落ちよ、ロードレスキャメロット。さて、どこからあまり悩ませないで。楽しくなさい。火薬の匂い。暗くいい判断です。ジフ、神戸を垂れよ。希望もない。あげましょう。目障りなんだろ。
Right now it's grinding.
ジフ、神戸を垂れよ。希望もないじゃないか。
勝っても負けても死骸は増えるんだ。虫どもが喜ぶだけじゃないか。
光の子やんすかやっと。はち切れそうでしょ。完全敗北。
ご用件いい判断です。それは絶えず見た滅びのロードレスキャメラあまり悩ませ式はこうしてあげるの。食べなさい。
Definitely a bit tired.
くら目を背けないで。慈悲神戸を垂れよ。希望も日向火薬のイノベーション始めます。よくあくまで華麗に。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。ロードレスキャメラ生きている者がいれば私の社に愛玩の折にてたっぷり分からせますので。我が進化よ。完全ルーザの資格はどっちにもそうでしょ。いい判断です。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。ロードレスキャメラあまり悩まず手に入らないよ。日向火薬のそのように目を背けないで。慈悲神戸を垂れよ。希望もイノベーション始めます。メニューよ目を背けないで。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。ロードレスキャメラ
Being a bit tired.
ふむふむ。ほほう。クエスト解放。パッチワークの都市をかけ。これは素晴らしい。ほほう。なかなかいいものを得たい。
I just have a few more before I can reach there. It's like an entirely different place now. There are automata all around the area where their flat used to be. And they're not the only ones. Where did all these ghosts and automata come from? There is enough here to overrun this whole patchwork. The building doesn't even look flat anymore. It's just a mountain of ghosts and automata. No one's made it to the top. Versus kicking down any others that try to get close. Like some bizarre version of the King of the Hill. Senpai, I'm seeing paper magical energy on our end too. You found it? Too, huh? Ash, then it looks like we're at the right place. Although those things must have been found, the paper my brother had on him before we could get to it. They must have found out we discovered it thanks to whatever they did to track us. Oh, you're all here too. Australia. That must be where the last slip of paper is. Quite the spectacle taking place here. As I expected, those mirror slips must be like fragments of a holy grail. No wonder they seek them so desperately. They are pure, crystallized magical energy, powerful enough to transfer the very land we stand on. In which case, I think it's time for me to pass judgment on these poor souls, wandering purgatory. This is the likeness of your good deeds, and this the weights of your sins. Australia is using her noble phantasm. My treasury is the starry night sky. The hour judgment is upon thee. Take thee name, and accept the sentence, Custo Morem. She blew away every last ghost and automaton with her magical projectiles. Her sheer power and rage are incredible. Forget your magecraft. She was practically blasting them with meteors. This is what arbitration looks like. My skills always balance for justice. Now then, if you excuse me. She made a path through those ghosts and automata like she was parting the damn sea. There's nothing stopping her from walking right up to the flat now. Can't let her get there before us. Right. He doesn't care if her director hit us either. Watch your head and let's keep moving. I'll get you along the safest possible path. Thanks, that'll be a big help. Finally made it here. $77. Clear free memory. Reminiscent. Okay. That shouldn't be too hard. Why is it crashing now? Chose to crash at wrong times. loading.
女神モード降臨。はち切れそうでしょ。はち切れそうでしょ。目にいい判断です。それは絶えず見た滅びの最果てにありながら鳥は明日を迎えるし、ロードキャメラ動かないの。あまり悩ませないすべての罪が簡単に終わらない。好き放題日向の買い放題扱ってあげましょう。目を背けないこの私が慈悲神戸を垂れよ。恐怖は希望もない何人も通るにあたわず。内側からコッパ20。
Alright.
何を喜んでいるのです。私が出たのです。勝利は約束されていたは。
Phew, I'm finally close enough to see the paper for myself. There's still no end to him, even after coming all this way. Goddamn swarm, and nothing we do is gonna scare off the ghosts or the dolls. I mean, so we can't just give up. I know that, but time isn't exactly on our side here. Let's race almost to the paper. That took longer than I would have liked, but oh well. Now then, I'll just take this and be on my way. Damn it, we got to stop her. But how? I already told you we have a real shot at victory now. Didn't I? Would you mind, Ray? Not at all. Oh yeah, Gray's no phantasm. Ray, rave. Rave, depart. The hell was that? That was way too close for comfort. Nobody gets in the boss ways as long as I'm around. I figured he might be here too. Ugh. The automata and ghosts aren't letting up one bit either. I know how dangerous you guys can be, so I will use whatever it takes to give myself an edge. Damn, this kind of chaotic battle must be right up his alley. Rhinus. Don't worry about me, Gray. Got my people here. Backing me up, isn't that right? You know it. That's what I like to hear. Come on, let's take care of these guys while Gray gets ready. What do you mean, how's that English? Can't use Gray. Be fine. Oh, good thing he didn't use the MP. Some more automata though.
いい判断です。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。最果てにありながらトリガースロードレスキャメラ。
Two more left.
よく言いました。そう、いいでしょう。私の足元で許しを乞いなさい。落ちよ、ロードレスキャメロット。人間の火力ではどうあっても私には及びません。おとなしく我が社に入り。
Cute. Now Gray. Hehe, what a great night this is. I'm in a great mood now, after chowing down all those steamboats. Gray, rave. Rave depart. What the heck? Or are these bots? Why there's more bots? It really sucks. And no one to help me on YouTube. Is that Mox eating their magical energy? Where the hell did all that magical energy come from? Qualifying level fences rank C, B, still rising. Great for me. What is this? Great for you. Vital personality suspended. Natural energy yield. The recollection. Second sync restraint rescinded. What are you up to? Wait. Damnable phantasm. It is supposed to be sacred or less. Removing restraint. That is King Arthur's. So you're familiar with it? That is right. It's sort of like a descent of King Arthur. Arthur's note phantasm is called Excalibur. It's one of the greatest secret sword ever made. It collects the planet's very breath and enriches a torrent of life. I bet it's probably the single most famous note phantasm in all of the world. It's not the only note phantasm that make King Arthur invincible. There is another armament in Legend of King Arthur. It's a shadow of an anchor sunk in the planet, holding the texture of humanity firmly in place. You can shoot down the night sky itself, and lay waste to enemies in its path. It's a tower at the ends of the world. This is the likeness of your own deeds, and this is the weight of your sins. My treasure is this starry night sky. The noble phantasm great and herded is none other than King Arthur's sacred lance itself. This is a lance that shines to the end of the worlds. Rongo Mined. Our judgment is upon thee. State thee name, and accept these sentence. Possum morum. No, wrong gray. No way, even my no fences can't hold it back. That light, what incredible power. A stray broken her stance. Now's our chance, run. We'll fight off the automata and ghosts on the way. Two and last wave. There, we made it through. If I get them, you've seen a paper. That's it, senpai. On it. Enemies are moving faster. Count 40 in total. They'll catch up to us, master. If push comes to shove, then I'll... Huh? What's going on? Don't worry about it, everything's fine. These are your memories. The enemy's servants are closing in. I'll fight her off, master. If I don't stop her here, everyone who fled to continue will suffer the consequences. These aren't my memories. Oh, but they are. Your memories were always like this. These are exactly what your memories are supposed to be. You yourself have accepted these as truth. At this point, they are only truth. Accept them. Your grief and suffering will all go. Stop that. What the? That was close. If you collect all of that remote sleeping, it would have been curtains for us. Can't be. Huh? How? You are... Too bad, I was hoping to lay low for a little longer. Emily, you might have already figured this out, but let me get this out of the way. Those magazine paper are a trap. A trap? What are you saying, brother? For that matter, how are you even here? You were dead. I was wondering the same thing. Are you really Emily too? I understand your confusion, but think about it. A normal servant would never leave a body behind. Well, yeah, that is true, isn't it? So you remember that now, Yuki. Yes, Wulan uses my body for a vessel, making me a cycle servant. As long as certain conditions are in place, it's possible for me to leave a body behind in event of my death. That's why I took advantage of here. Since I was essentially have two spirit origin, I used my Wulan one to create that body. You detach your spirit origin, even though you're a cycle servant. It wasn't easy, believe me. And in consequence, most of Wulan power is gone. In this case, losing most of Wulan power and spirit origin also has significant upsides. It's impossible for the enemy to track me in this state, regardless of how sharp their sensors might be. After all, no one will expect a tactician Wulan caliber to only have as much magic energy as a common mage. Now I bet it never crossed their mind, no matter how much attention I might have called myself. I guess whoever behind all this couldn't care less about a rubbish non-servant mage like me. I think you're getting off track. But yeah, that's my brother, alright? Big walking, infuriating complex of a third-rate mage. Why would you go to all that trouble? Because I had to go in hiding, of course. No slips of paper or why. By using the time about to analyze them, and I learned something very interesting in the process. Memories in this singularity possess some highly unusual properties. For one thing, memories don't normally have much in the way of the magical energy, but here they can provide vast amounts of it. And firstly, this paper uses massive magical energy to manipulate other memories. Memories? That's right. This paper fabricates memories. That's been the true goal here all along. Yes, I expect your memories were intentionally stolen when you first entered this singularity. Stealing memory is one thing. Fabricating completely new ones is quite another. You already remember some things by encountering servants you met in the past year, haven't you? Not exactly why the one behind us had to employ more cunning measures to overwrite your memories. Like what? They hid this piece of paper in each patchwork, expecting to have their target collect them himself. Having a target collect them of his own violation enables things that would normally never fly to sneak past without suspicion. I expect the mastermind kept the first two pieces practically identical to the target's memories, but to plan a complete fabrication in the third. Magecraft and mystics are fundamentally built upon that kind of deceit. Still, fabricating memories, it just doesn't seem possible. Are you sure about that? You confirm the veracity of those memories with anyone? Oyuki is a member of Chaldea, right? Bet they could verify his memories. I see, true, Chaldea almost certainly could determine whether Yuki memories are genuine or falsified. On that note, I have a question for you. I'm sure you received a transmission or two from Kadia by now, but I'm guessing Mash is the only one there you speak to, right? You don't mean... Fabricating Mary is a difficult endeavor. Even after you manage to implant new ones, you need to keep a close eye on them to see how well they took. The ones behind this will need to just do just that, so as make sure you're stuck to the path they want you to follow. The best way to do so is under the guise of someone you trust completely, someone you would never suspect. Someone we would never suspect. Oh wait, then the M you wrote in your direct message was meant to be. That's right, Mash of course. Mash you've been talking to here is an imposter. She's gone. What about the rear Mash? Locks and rear Mash is fine. Your communications are still being jammed, that's all. He's probably worried sick about you, but in the meantime, you have other things to take care of. Also, for a mastermind to impersonate staff from Chaldea, we would of course need information on Chaldea. And it will be impossible for someone native to this singularity to obtain that information. That means whoever is behind everything wouldn't be able to do all this one information obtained in this singularity. They must have connection on the outside. See, that makes sense. Alright then, what do you propose, brother? That brings me back to this paper. I can turn up anything else in my own analysis. I bet Sir Babbage could dig considerably deeper. What did it say, Lady Asteria? So you know about me too, do you? Fine, I'll go along with this. Is that alright with you, Carrie? Fine by me. Whatever the client wants, the client gets. Two. What's 23? Steam Ghost. $48. These straight enemies. I did 48 then. Just this one, I guess. This one works too.
ましょう。いい判断です。慈悲、神戸を垂れよ。恐怖は希望も何人通るにあたわず。日向の日向の火薬の匂い。
いいね、最高だ。
いいはよく言いました。慈悲、神戸を垂れよ。恐怖は希望も何人通るにあたわず。
おお、来たか我が弟子。事件進展。
Let's do this first. There's no chicken. It's supposed to be wyverns.
目を背けないで。それは絶えず見た滅びのもの。最果てにありながらトリガースロードキャメラ逃がすのみ。浮気現場無駄ですよ。手に入らない。悩ません。手に入らないのは日向の日向の回復まで扱ってあげましょう。いいでしょう。この私が。それは絶えず見た滅びのもの。最果てにありながらトリガースロードキャメラ。どうして
Oh, Blackbeard.
いい方で扱ってあげましょう。よく目を背けないで。死になさい。アコーロ魔女ですもん。光栄の本気です。
ひどい目にあった。せっかくの羽に傷がつく。ま、
Two more. Altera.
光の子やんすかやっと手に入る雑魚のみんなお前お覚悟できますでしょ皆様最高で扱ってあげましょういい判断ですそれは絶えず見た滅びの夢最果てにありながらトリバースローブスキャメル逃がすものアコード無駄におっほっほサンタじゃプレゼントフォーユー行くぞ無駄ですよ行くぞ簡単に宝具を悪魔いいでしょう展開しましょう事実神戸を垂れよ恐怖は希望もなく何人通るにあたわずひょんひょん許しません行くぞ
Oh, survived.
痛いぞいい方で扱ってあげましょう皆様火薬の匂い宝具よく目を背けないで事実神戸を垂れよ恐怖は希望もなく何人通るにあたわず逃がすもの召し上げましょう無礼に
Oh, she's eating her MP now.
約束は壊さないその孤独を粉砕するキャンディースターフォトンレイねえ人形兵器と認めましょうあこれキャンディーケイン無駄ですよ痛いぞ
Interesting enough, she didn't start working.
手に入る簡単にあまり悩ませない楽しくなるでしょそう宝具を
いいとも
展開しましょう
目障りなんだろ
事実神戸を垂れよ恐怖は希望もなく何人通るにあたわず
勝っても負けても死骸は増えるんだ虫どもが喜ぶだけじゃないか
Avenger. Yep. Next one's the tag team.
影清が参る。
承知。お任せあれと。儚きは罪。この世はなべて散りあくた。愛は痛いもの。
That wasn't enough.
いざ源氏死にそうらい。味わいました。あ溢れちゃいました。承知。承知。あっき溢れちゃいました。果てに愛がないとでもまあらシューニャタ欲を込め残るは正願だで
She's casting her MP. I need to.
大札承知。サラソージュの花のすなわちこの世の摂理を知るがいい。諸行無常調査実際。兄上欲望のままにお任せを。刺激的でしょ。私は何を。欲望の邪魔です。お任せ。欲望のままに愛は痛いもの。触れ合いの夏は燃えるもの。アビルーパのいざない。魔王
Then the chicken. I hate that chicken. I always underestimate that chicken.
復讐だもの。同じ次元で相手をしてあげる。お参りしていきます。好き放題。
てあげましょう。耐えてみて破壊する。参拝しうるさい。これが本当の私。広がりは無限。すべて我が心臓に収まりボディシュグラクエーサー。嘆きクイール。許しはない。いいだろう、手が口。無駄ですよ。無駄ですよ。無駄ですよ。温情はない。キノコ火薬の匂い。参拝の時よ。黙って静かにして。私を悪魔と言った。その通りよ。原始の地獄に帰りなさい。究極女神ビーム。嘆きクイール。許しはない。やばい。リレーにキャンプしよう。
これは高く舞い上がった三角ロースが美しく構える。出たー。これこそがユカタンレガーロで涙。三角ロースのフィールドホールドである。ましょう。マスター。参拝静かにしうるさい。信頼回帰臨界。花開く命によってすべてひとときの夢のボディシュグラクエーサー。面白い。逃げ惑いなさい。やばい。リレーにキャンプしよう。私は善と悪が合体した究極の私。
That was so close.
負ける道理がないのだわ。おお、来たか。クエスト解放とのことだ。まあ探求は魔術師の基本だよ。我が弟子には頑張っていただきたい。
Okay, now I can say Act 9 now. I see. That fits in with my own theory as well. I analyzed this paper a bit, and it would be indeed seem to have the effects Elmole 2 described. I knew you'd come through, thinking. A true filing analysis like this is hardly worthy of praise. At any rate, this does seem like it may lead us to the mastermind, but that will take more time. In the meantime, I invite you to wait here in my castle. Very well, if you must. Still, there's one thing I'd like to discuss before we go any further. Why would this mastermind need to implant Yuki with false memories? Perhaps the paper he almost ingested can provide a clue. Did the memories you saw at the time focus on any one person or thing particular, Yuki? Da Vinci. About you, Elmole, I don't suppose you have a fear or two you could share with us. Is something wrong? There was a little odd hearing those words from that face. At any rate, yes, I do have one hypothesis. And are you going to tell us you're not in the habit of discussing your hypothesis like a detective might? I have no such compensation. I'm no detective. I'm a mage. Still, all I can say now is I don't sense hostility from our opponent, so much as I do pity. You mean diffuse sorceress? That's just the impression I get, but yes, of course, ill intent is hardly a risk it for causing harm. If anything, you can much more easily justify hurting others if you believe you're doing so for the right reasons. At any rate, I doubt it will be long before our enemy make a move. So take this time to rest and recuperate. In that case, sir, let me comb your hair. Huh? I mean, just look at how messy it is. Being a servant is no excuse for being sloppy. It's nice to have things back to normal. You should have her polish your shoes while she's at it, brother. Can Emily not say no to his own people or something? Guess he managed to take care of himself. In Chaldea then. Yeah, when my brother starts leaning on someone, he ends up relying on them for almost everything. In the clock tower, he'd never get anything done if it wasn't for Gray. Cut that out, Grayness. Gray, let's go. Let go of my arm. Wait, hang on, I just realized something else. Huh? The whole reason we were summoned here is because my brother failed. Well, you know, MLO failed? It's simple, he would never had to die unless he was in an extremely tight spot. Even if he did have spirit origin to spare, separating the two is incredibly difficult feat. He could well and truly had died if things had gone wrong. The fact that he went through with it anyway just shows how dire the circumstances were. The dire that his choice were between likely death and certain death. Well, brother, you're not wrong, but unlike other servants, those who were summoned to resolve this have a clear and obvious connection. Me, Gray, Luvia, all of us have a deep ties to my brother. But while Gray could reasonably qualify as a servant, the same can't be said for Luvia or me. It must have been Zug Lang and the Phantasm that brought us here. Dispatch troops. Zug Lang, other ex-noble Phantasm, it follows heroic legend to provide its targets with abilities they need to succeed. In this case, it must have been giving you and Luvia spirit origins that could then be summoned to this singularity. That wouldn't have worked this well if humanity weren't currently in such dire straits to begin with, or without the singular particular circumstance. So that's why Rhaenys and Luvia became status servants. So this was all Zug Lang doing, huh? That explains how Sima Yi and I ended up together. It's not because we have a connection of our own, it was because our situation put us in a state that's close to my brother's own situation. That must have made it much easier to form that bond needed for the magecraft to work. It all makes sense. Perfect sense once you understand that a bit. Then that must be why you thought you were MOA2 when you first got here. Right, I must have been forced into his position as a result of his no-phantasm pulling me in here. It definitely all adds up neatly. The fact that it all make use of existing connection to make it easy to form a mystic. All that said, you got a lot of nerve dragging us over here just to clean up your mess, brother. I'm sorry, I never expected you would be the one summoned here. That is so like you, brother. You usually hate relying on anyone else for anything, but you have no trouble asking for help once things really go south. Of course, I'll take that over being a heartless fool who refused to do the same under similar circumstances. Yes, I would very agree with that. Alright, putting all those pieces together tired my brain out. So I'm going to take a breather while we wait for Babbage to finish his analysis. You came out here too, huh? Well, here, why don't you have a seat next to me then? It's a lovely view. I'm grateful to you, you know? Truth be told, if you hadn't been here, seeing my brother dead would have been wrecked at me. If I hadn't had keep it together enough to do something to help my people, I'd probably still be staying there, staring at his body. At least until one of the automata picked me off, or something. I don't know what I would have done without your help either. Well, you know, oh shit, it's so hard not to be honest around you. Maybe it's because I never had people before. Anyway, I think I'm pretty happy right now. Ray is here, my brother's still alive, and amazingly, I get a chance to talk to both of them again. Just don't tell my brother. I'm only saying this because you're my very first people. Once it's all over, you, me, Ray, and my brother should all have tea together. I think that would be worth breaking out my special stash for. That sounds great. Make sure to keep your schedule open, even if you are mankind's last master. There's always time for tea. Anyway, I'm going to hang out here a little longer. You should go back in before you catch a cold. Oh, Yuki. I take it you were just spending time with Rhaenys. I know my adoptive sister can be fairly ill-tempered, so I'm glad to see you getting along well with her. She definitely likes the tea sometimes, but I can handle that. I see. I suppose you would have to feel that way to get along with her. I knew you were a good master. While we're here, there's something else I need to tell you. There's no need for you to resolve the singularity. Sir? I'm glad you're here, Ray. You should hear this too. As I'm sure you already know, Master, whatever happens in singularity eventually ends up never having happened at all. There are of course some singularities that could friend humanity if they take a turn for the worse, but that's not the case with this one. It's bound to go away on its own time. There's no way a singularity that has to consume memories and ultimately self-destructive process. The sustain itself could last for very long after all. Once you reestablish contract with Chaldea and you're able to return home, there won't be any reason for you to stay and continue fighting here. Just put it down like a video game you've grown tired of and you need not to be in any danger. I never do that. You're a very straight shooter, aren't you? It's rather refreshing. Anyway, I guess I didn't need to tell you that after all. If you're that determined to see this through. Some people might call you reckless or even foolish, but I think it's actually one of your strengths. And as your servant, I swear to do all I can to assist. I do too. People, brother. Rhaenys. What's it, Rhaenys? You're here too, Gray? Good, come on. There's something you all need to see. What is that? Ugh, how could I have ever mistaken that for the clock tower? But of course, something must have been interfering with her perception. If the clock tower were still around, there's no way they would ignore a huge case like this. It's not the clock tower at all that it is. Rongon Mined. I guess this should be 10 bracket 1 out of 3 or something. It's called. Yeah, I think so. A fake Rongominet that is somehow identical to the real one in everything but scale, I've also confirmed a vast number of automata and ghosts being discharged from its interior. So that's where they are coming from. Whoever is behind this must have given up on trying to handle this quietly now that Elmaloy 2 has revealed their true intention regarding those slips of paper. But it wouldn't be the first time you piss someone off by casually exposing their secret with it. I remind you that I only did so because it was an important emergency. I would have just as soon remained it hidden longer if I could have. At any rate, approximately 80% of them appear to be making their way toward this particular patchwork. I imagine they want to capture Yuki. My, whoever behind this must really care for you. You seem happy about this. Of course, there's no room for judgment without strong feelings at play. On upside, we now know where our enemy's hideout is, as I highly doubt it could be anywhere besides the insides of that lance. Thanks to your perceptions being altered, it never even occurred to us that building could be anything but the clock tower. But now that it's sending out soldiers, the wool they were pulling over our eyes no longer does the trick. At least we can take heart in the fact that resorting to these double-edged measures is a sign that we got our opponents on the ropes. So how do you plan to respond to this, Team King? I suppose the easiest way is to make certain your kingdom remains peaceful. You send out Yuki. No need to try to manipulate me, tactician. If I meant to take the easy way out, I would have never fought to collect the papers in the first place. You have to forgive my brother. He's incapable of considering anything but worst case scenarios. So I see. At any rate, I finished my analyzing the paper thanks to Chimaru. Not master ordered me to help. I found a name that appears to have close ties to our masterminds and files we reviewed. It seems they are part of an organization called Chaldea. I knew it. We were up against someone from Chaldea. They could have never impersonated Mash or otherwise. At the same time, the fact they did so means they must have betrayed Chaldea in some form. Indeed. The next name I managed to extract is Automatic Observation Existent Verification System Musine. Musine, the goddess of memory. So there was a reason why that name was written on those scraps of paper. The console design behind Chaldea's systems are entirely different from my own, so I have yet to fully understand their inner workings. I might be able to make more progress on this if I had more time, but for now, this is the best I can do. Regardless of the situation here, couldn't be simpler. With all the summons we got here, we should go pay this mastermind a visit and give them a good talk in the jaw. Am I wrong, Lady Duchess? I suppose not. Alright, I'll help you. I expect this is why I was summoned here in the first place. I should warn you, I doubt that even my power will be able to crack that spirit out of shell. That said, as long as we can make our way inside, I do think I can be useful. So how do we get in? That is indeed the question. A straight power alone really won't be able to cut us off through the sheer number of foes that guards the front entrance. Oh. I think I might be able to make a way in for us, but the thing is... Guess what is it? I don't have enough magical energy. Ed and I alone won't be able to make it through to the inside. I see, well that's enough to fix. There are countless magical energy scattered throughout Patchwork London waiting to be collected. Here's a simple question for you, Master. Do you have any idea what I'm going to talk about? The paper scraps. Correct. Unlike the Museum paper, the scraps don't seem as they will try to fabricate any false memories. So we can't be completely sure about that, so we need to collect a mystic code to account for that possibility. Can we ask for help with that, Team King? I should be able to make something like that right away. I've already been using those scraps as my own source of entry after all. That said, one never knows what sort of trouble one might run into, so I will help you collect them as much as I can. Then settle. Before the automaton and ghost army have a chance to attack us, we are going to collect as many scraps as we can, as fast as we can. Now it's gate locked. I'm done with that, yes.
さーて、新しいミッションが開いたらしい。頑張ってもらおうか。ほほう。
Okay. Now I can't continue with the story, so I have to wait until the raid starts. I can do this though. There's something about the singularity that makes memories an extremely potent energy source. Oh, no. No wonder they went after my brother. Then I should have realized this ages ago. This is a lance that shines to the ends of the world. Rongo Mined. That's right, and for Mash. Mash you've been talking to here is an imposter. The feedback just now. You didn't need to collect the scraps. Making contract alone brought on the feedback still. That lord's still alive. Still playing the same damn cheating tricks. That's why I hate this. That's why I hate his dismissal face so much. How many times was I made to suffer in London back then? Mashes. I'm surprised that demi-summer girl from Okalia was a fake. I've had just about enough of being cheated and betrayed. But now I see. Falsifying memory, is it? Only caught a glimpse, but the memory that was erased seems to have been a precious one for you. The reminiscence genius, Leonardo da Vinci, but then a servant with the same memories appeared, right? Well then, all's well that ends well. Her memories are the same. Doesn't that mean she's not dead? That isn't true. How is that? She said her goodbyes. Farewell, Yuki. I know it's a lot to ask, but don't give hope. Give up and do your best. Yeah, I get it. I'm picking up your memories. She made sure to say goodbye to you, all while trying not to make you sadder than necessary. She remembers something as knowledgeable as far removed from recognizing the memories as your own. Call it the difference between memories and records. I know that well. As a body double myself, I'm a stand-in for someone else based on the records. because I still stand. It's no good for the king to die either, although he got angry when I called the opposite a good thing. Even made identical by magecraft, they are not. Even bearing the same records, they are not. For instance, just because you might be reading the same book doesn't mean you the same person. But there's still something vital you should be aware of. Vital how? If those memory fragments are fake, then it's likely that you're the real memory. So a path to the main body is connected as well. After all, you can summon those shadows. That could be true. Then we better get you back to your body fast. Memory dwells in the soul and body. Alike, you see, even if you don't return, the body can probably recover. But you got personality of your own. The sooner we delay things, the harder it will be to reunite. But seems the door has opened in any case. Looks like we're pushing the climax. I see, we're nearly at the front of the train. You're the conductor? Your name's Wulan, if I recall. So you heard of me. May I call you Faker? Suit yourself. But when the world led to this? That I was summoned. And that this one acquired a personality based on memories alone are both mysteries. This train's really making me take a long way around just to open a door, isn't it? First off, allow me to answer that last question. We have made use of Yuki's doppelganger because we have determined that this singularity is somehow associated with your memories. That's why a door opens each time a memory fragment is collected. Oh, so the train and the memories are linked. As Yuki real self recovers his memories, a door opens in this train before you, his doppelganger. That is all there is to it. However, through this relationship, your memories are synchronized with this train. Synchronized? It's no different from my body double logic. Respective facts and actually formal elements are arranged and isomerized. We talked about this before coming here, didn't we? As the memory fragments and the doors are connected. But the truth is that it was the other way around. By acting like they were connected, we end up making that the case. After all, each crap is little more than a jumble of such duplicity and sophistry. Yes, it's exactly as you guessed it. As long as the singularity remains linked to your memories, so too will the synchronized train will remain linked to them. Casually binds this train to singularity. The decryption of the singularity is made possible once they have been bound. Of course, I have a technique prepared to facilitate the feedback between you and the real self. As a side effect, I do believe you will end up facing a person with whom you share connection. That Coliseum is. I apologize for the tactless trick. I could offer an explanation along with the welcome, but there were no guarantee of cooperation. After all, you were at one another throats once. We did come to blows in my world, but to think the real Zeppelin of this world was aware of it. Relation of that extent are laid bare before the deputy manager, even if they are from a different world. Who's that? The shadow of the former manager of this place. I heard she was a superior dead apostle, that even after leaving train, her shadow continues to act as a manager. Doesn't that sound like a dead ringer for you right now? It was the deputy manager who instructed me to use you to decrypt the singularity. The real Zeppelin may be a train that runs through another world, but it is not designed to run through a singularity. It is capable of running through the other world to avoid the bleaching of the earth, and also capable of getting as close as possible to singularity. However, entering the singularity itself is where it is drawn the line. Even now, the train is only running on the steerer of the singularity by the skin of its teeth. So long as we lack technology like ray shifting, we have no choice but to meet other conditions. The decryption of the singularity is essential for that. So that's how it is. So what's your destination? Or rather, why do you want to enter the singularity that badly? I bet you say something like, why done it is the important factor. You will find it soon enough. Now that you're here, the decryption process has already. That was. So you saw it. What happened? Damn it. I know what that is. As if I could forget. As I could ever forget. The cursed lance that once felt me. That is Rongo Mined. It's synchronized. Synchronized with that. Well, I guess that's how far we can get in store for now. Well, until next time. Really a lot of people.